Yo, 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 what's good, YouTube? Saps King 05 here. I wanted to bring out Ulti another time. Want to do it in another recent fight, which is basically this raid event, the not Alisei, the Lilith raid. So basically, you guys should already know the gimmick on these guys is they can throw up a one brave damage aura basically, and that's what Sherlotta's here for. She's basically here to set up her BT effect and to help us, help Ulti basically get past it, because Ulti unfortunately doesn't have any brave refunds on her attacks. So brave, hard brave damage, reductions, they really stop her. So that's what we got here. That's what we got Sherlotta here for. I put the Pinello call on Sherlotta to help with gain overflow. So just provide a little bit more brave back to Ulti when she basically is in her BT phase. When Sherlotta's in her BT, her auras up. We went ahead and throw up the Kurosame call. Get some more HP damage up, slow these fuckers down. Exdeath is here, so bringing them back. Another, I guess, Ulti strategy I kind of like to do, or at least I was doing towards the beginning of Shinryu, was I like to just pair both of these two up, Ulti and Exdeath, and just basically just let the HP poison eat. Like, just, with all those turns, and especially if the enemy's getting turns, it's just a fun time to just watch them just slowly die. And really, at the end of the fight, that's pretty much where I'm really banking on at the end. My initial strategy is Sherlotta's force time isn't necessarily the best for DPS characters, because I believe the conditions are it has to be a changed HP attack, or it has to be you have to grant battery, grant brave to your other characters. So, it's just not good for DPS characters. I don't want to call it truly selfish, because, you probably want to use Sherlotta's FR if you have somebody like Renoa with a change HP attack, or you just a bunch of like brave battery units. So my strategy in here was to basically use Lunafreya as our first force time. At least with Lunafreya, while her force time is up, we can really maximize the amount of damage that we need to do. So I wanted to go that route. It worked out pretty well. I wanted to pop her BT first, so we get those auras up. We can go ahead and throw up Ulti. We can get her started next turn. But as you can see, even though this one brave damage is here, we're just gonna basically gain past it. Literally brave gain past it. Alphana would be proud. But yeah, Sherlotta is just, again, singing the praises. Definitely a unit that I think people should be on the lookout for when she comes around in a global. I definitely think she definitely have more than a whole. She just aged so well, just a really good unit. But outside of that, the Ulti strat is to, I was only going to use Sherlotta's turns, her free skills only when I needed to do it, which is basically if the EX buff was going to fall off, I was going to go ahead and just use it there. I think later on in the run, basically her regular S1 buff falls off, because I'm just more so just trying to keep the auras up for as long as I can, so we can do as much damage as we can. And it pretty much worked out. I used to think that 10 turns with Sherlotta and her BT effect wasn't necessarily enough, but getting Ulti through some of these fights, you know, battery past these one brave damage auras, has been pretty fun. And I definitely can say that the amount of brave damage, the amount of you know, length that you get from that BT effect really works out. So I really wanted to basically delete these guys' turns. It didn't truly work out the way I wanted to. I basically just kind of wanted to delete them, you know, send them to the shadow realm. I get 12 turns of full-on deletes, but as you can see, both A and B just speed the fuck up. Like, they just get a lot of turns. Like, you can even see now, A just has, you know, I'm deleting them. I'm deleting throughout the whole BT phase, but he just keeps getting more turns on me. Not sure if I'm just being bad and that's just a mechanic I'm missing, you know, because I blew this fight up the first time I did it. But yeah, I think this was a nice first time BT phase, you know. Everything basically worked out the way it did. I'm gonna go ahead and once we get to the once we get out of this phase, we gonna hit the tech, hit the brother summon. There we go. Get a nice delay on there. I wanted to let Ulti, you know, just do a few more attacks. They want to start EX spamming. I really wanted to get Exdeath back into the party before I started EX spamming. And once Lunafreya leaves, like I said, the last part of this fight really is just letting you watch and see how damage over time, just how Exdeath and his poison sap effect paired with a turn hogger is really good. Now, this is another, I guess, take that I kind of necessarily don't like. I cannot deny that it is copium for Exdeath to basically not get any kind of boost on his HP poison from force time. That's a pretty big cuck. So yeah, I personally did kind of slow down on using them a bit, but the poison effect is just as abusable as it was previously. It's just that now with C90, the poison ticks are huge. Like it's a lot of poison, and it really adds up. As long as you just let it sit there and just let it tick, it really adds up. And you can really see it pretty much starting now. Like literally starting now, we're just going to slowly kill him and work our way up to another force time. Just watch how Ulti, you know, and this also this combines well with the fact that, like I said, these guys are gonna get them a few turns towards the end of this fight. You know, I think both A and B take like I want to say 3 turns back to back to back, both of these guys, which basically just adds, it just adds up. Just that damage over time. Both of these two characters are basically just damage over time characters. They don't pump out the crazy amount of damage right then and there, you know, right, you know, like I guess, like, you know, turn for turn, they're not really cranking out the damage. But as the battle progresses and as things move on, they basically just churn and churn and churn and just do more and more and more. Look at that. That's 24. That's 240k per action. Every action, you know, that shit adds up. So yeah, I can understand why they didn't necessarily, you know, let it be usable by force time. You know, let the bonus come from force time. But I definitely don't think it's just, you know, it just makes Exdeath unusable. I just think that, you know, you kind of have to play around with it a little bit. You know, you have to maximize it. I guess that's a better way to say it. You need to maximize the amount of damage that he's doing at that one point in time. So yeah, even with, you know, we still got 2 BT auras up. Ulti's still using Sherlotta's BT effect, but we're just slowly creeping along. Now Exdeath's in the party. We're just slowly creeping along, just letting it all just add up. Sherlotta making very good use out of Sherlotta's making very good use out of Lunafreya's, special, Leo buff. What's funny is that, yeah, I ate a couple attacks in this fight and we still kept on trucking. This is no mitigation, no way of me trying to stop us from getting hit hard. This is just me just trying to sap them to death, pretty much. The void and the void and time compression is such a beautiful combination, such a beautiful strat in my opinion. I do hold out some hope for Exdeath. Hope he gets a really good BT effect. I mean, not BT effect. What am I talking about? Hope he gets a good FR effect. And I hope that his FR effect, really takes advantage over his poison. Like now his poison ticks will start becoming a little bit more, will be affected by the boost. That's, and that's probably what Square was actually probably trying to go for is, we don't want to make Exdeath too broken, because if his poison saps were as strong as we want them to be, then people would just, do strategies like this, Titus and Ulti and, pick your favorite turn harder and just never let the boss get another turn as you slowly drain them to death. Pause. So yeah, we're pretty much wrapping this one up. We just hit the second force time. All we had to do was just make sure that we just didn't die with all these guys' turns. Oh yeah, and the real MVP of this fight, at least towards this part of the fight, shout outs to Sap. Salute Sap, because every turn these guys got, they would regen to some pretty dangerous looking amount of brave and then just get sapped. Like, and honestly, with this team, this is 3 forms of sap. You got Ulti sap from her S2 debuff. You have Exdeath saps from all of his debuffs, and you even have Sherlotta's sap from her HP plus. I mean, her special HP plus debuff. So with all those saps, all the brave they gain are just immediately taken away. And you had that also small little bit of safety with Exdeath EX, Exdeath's EX buff. Basically just saying just stop, just stop. So after this, I knew this was a complete, because all we had to do here was basically just ride it out. I know at the very least that, if Sherlotta's BT effect was going to run out, we still had Exdeath who can actually still damage these guys, because he doesn't need the brave. And Sherlotta as well to basically finish the job. The only last part about this fight that actually sucks was the mechanics. As you can see, they didn't die. And that's because these guys don't die until they're forced to. It's basically the Arden effect. They're not going to die until force time is over. So I actually had to wait a couple of turns for them to. I had to basically wait a couple of turns for them basically to die, let their force time run off. But as you can see, this was a proof of concept, another proof of concept. Ulti doing great things. Exdeath and Sherlotta are basically here to literally support Ulti. Lunafreya came in to support Ulti, with a strong force time to just, take off a large amount of life. But, again, this is a good teamwork kind of run. Yeah, I might think about seeing if I can tackle Boonavels or see if I can get Ulti through there. It'll probably be something like a similar strat, because I'll have to use Sherlotta in order to get past those high brave reductions that Boonavels have got. But yeah, as you can see, just waiting on that final turn. We can go ahead and clear things up. Yeah, this time, so yeah, like yeah, I had to. I got a phone call in the middle of the run, you know, kind of embarrassing. Had to send in the voicemail, man. I'm trying to do work with the time queen. You gonna have to hit me back. But yeah, this run was pretty fun. It was good just to see, like, you know, I am a huge proponent of killing enemies slowly, so it's always been fun. But you know, once again, it's been your boy Saps King 05 signing out. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube algorithm bullshit. Help out your boy. Let's catch y'all later. Peace.